Hey guys, welcome back to Carib 21, where we share what's trending in and around the Caribbean. If it's your first time joining us, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. So, in today's video, I would like to talk about the beautiful island of Barbados. So, at the time you're watching this video, we are in Barbados, and I am in Barbados for numerous reasons. One, Barbados will celebrate their independence on November 30th, being independent since 1966. That is one of the reasons. And another reason, my favorite leader slash prime minister of all time, the Honorable Mia Motley. And today I want to talk about the Prime Minister Mia Motley in this video. So let's talk about it.
United States, because of course the Caribbean is America's backyard. I mean, from Cuba, closest.
Well, we like to say neighborhood because they get the wrong impression with backyard.
All right, I'm sorry, I was using that. Yes, true. Okay, you're in America's neighborhood because at its closest.
Okay, so as you just saw in that short clip, that is an example of one of the reasons why Mia Motley is my favorite leader of all time. And she is a no-nonsense person. She don't take any BS from anyone, despite whether you're like Putin, whether you're Netanyahu, whether you're Joe Biden, whichever president in the world, she's standing up to that person. And that is why I have so much respect for Mia Motley. And another thing also, Mia Motley, to me, like she's dubbed the Prime Minister of the Caribbean, because oftentimes when you see Mia Motley on the international stage, whether it's at the UN addressing the world or on any stage, for example, BBC, whenever you see her on the international stage, she's all about the entire Caribbean, not just about Barbados. So those are just some of the reasons why Mia Motley is my favorite Prime Minister, leader of all time. So what I really want to address in this video is Barbados' relationship with China, and to a larger extent the Caribbean, the increasing relationship that you see the Caribbean having this increased relationship with China. And there's a lot of questions that people are asking within the Caribbean and within the United States and other countries, and they're questioning the leaders in the Caribbean about their relationship with China. So in a clip that I'm about to show you, the reporter from BBC is about to question the Prime Minister of Barbados, the Honorable Mia Motley, about Barbados and their relationship with China. So let's take a look and see what the BBC reporter have to say about that.
At this point, it's only 70 kilometers from Cuba to the United States. 7 military US bases are here in the Caribbean. But people are beginning to wonder whether you're looking further east. And we had a question on social media, Prime Minister, which says, I honestly would like to know why we in Barbados are so ingratiated with China. Why are we in so deep with China? So are you swapping one superpower for another?
Well, once again, I regret that the person who asked the question doesn't know our history. In 1977, Barbados established relations with the People's Republic of China. This is 44 years ago. And therefore, to suggest that we are now seeking to ingratiate ourselves with China means that you don't understand where we've come from or what we're doing. Any country that lives in this world today, to exist in this world, ought to have relations with every country. And China is clearly a global power. And for us not to have a relationship with China, even if we didn't have one 47 years ago, would be foolish.
But you've been very complimentary about China. You had a phone conversation with President Xi Jinping recently. You said this is all about strengthening the relationship with China. In 2019, the government signed up to the BRI, the big infrastructure projects and so on. And some people are suspicious. They think that China wants to buy the family silver.
Well, let's put it this way. They've also been very complimentary of the Americans and the British and the Canadians. So that for me not to be complimentary of China seems unusual. And similarly, For persons who believe that because we want to be friendly with China means that we are a pawn, tells us what they think about us in the first place. Because we are capable of being, as our first Prime Minister said, friends of all and satellites of none.
But it's not just Barbados that's moving closer to China, it's the whole of the Caribbean. I mean,
it's the whole
investment
world.
from China has gone up many folds.
But so is the whole world. If I look correctly, I think the Chinese hold a large percentage of assets within the United States of America and a large amount of their treasuries as well. So for you to focus on the Caribbean or Africa with China without recognizing the role that China is playing in Europe or in the North Atlantic countries is a bit disingenuous and really reflects more that we are seen as pawns, regrettably, rather than countries with equal capacity to determine our destiny and to be part and parcel of that global conversation to fight the global issues of the day like climate and the pandemic.
All right, well, that's put me in my place, hasn't it?
No, not at
Prime
all.
Minister Mia Motley. Thank you.
Not at all, my dear.
That's all right, thank you. We'll go to our next question.
Okay, so as you could see again, the Honorable Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Motley, shutting down the BBC reporter narrative about the Caribbean and the relationship between the Caribbean and China, in particular in this instant, Barbados. And there's been this narrative all across the Caribbean for, I would say, at least about 20 years, when the Caribbean started doing more business with China. I remember, I would say a little over 20 years ago, when that relationship went to a different level with the PJ Patterson administration from Jamaica started to build the Highway 2000 and China was responsible for it. That was one of the biggest projects in the Caribbean that China was undertaking. And there's been a lot of questions about the relationship between China and the Caribbean, in particular coming from a lot of so-called first world countries, questioning that is China going to just come, what if these Caribbean islands default on their debt? Is China just going to come and take over our country, pretty much? But the conversation is a bit hypocritical, I would say, because every time I turn on CNN or Fox News, I hear like American politicians bragging about America being the most powerful country, not only in the world, but just in the history of existence, that America is that country. Even though America owes China trillions of dollars in debt, America owes South Korea and Japan a lot of money in debt. America is indebted to a lot of countries. And I have never heard a conversation that what if America default on its debt to China? Would China come in and take over America? Never heard that conversation, but that conversation comes up all the time when we're talking about Africa and when we're talking about the Caribbean, as if Africa and the Caribbean, the leaders in Africa and the Caribbean, don't have saying over their decisions. Because in terms of borrowing, the Caribbean and Africa have been borrowing money from the IMF for decades. And we see the problem with the IMF. We have seen countries default on their debt between them and the IMF. And if there's another option now where the Caribbean leaders and leaders in Africa see that, look, there is a loan agreement that's more favorable coming from China as opposed to go to the IMF, why wouldn't I, as a leader for my island nation, say, you know what? Yeah, we still have a relationship with the IMF, but if we need highways in terms of what we see happen in Jamaica, if we need hospitals, we see like in Barbados and in other Caribbean islands, why wouldn't we engage the Chinese government in getting a loan the same way we engage the IMF? So it's just been like this big hypocrisy, because yes, like small Caribbean nations, African nations, which are considered third world countries, we are indebted to these countries But also remember, like America, Canada, first world countries are indebted also to countries like China and Japan and South Korea. So this is just one of the reasons why I just look at Mia Motley, as I said, like she's personally like my hero when it comes on to political figure, like of all time. Like you make decision for your, and not only is she making decisions for Barbados, and we can see Barbados in terms of the dollar in Barbados. Barbados have the strongest, I would say the strongest currency, or one of the strongest currency in the entire Caribbean. We see the crime rate in Barbados compared to other Caribbean islands. It's a pretty safe country. We know like in Barbados food is expensive, but it is expensive all across the Caribbean. So in terms of my estimation, I think I can safely say Barbados is one of the most prosperous islands in the Caribbean. So the Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Motley, must be doing a good job, and the leaders that came before her. So guys, sound off in the comment section and let me know what you think about this conversation. Do you think that it's better for Caribbean nations to borrow money from the IMF or to borrow money from China? Are you worried about the Caribbean, the relationship with China? Do you have any reason to think that China is going to come and just take over a place like Barbados, take over Jamaica if we default on that debt? And if you are someone that thinks that, what about America? Do you think that China, with the trillions of dollars that the Americans owe China, do you think that China is going to take over America? So let's continue this conversation in the comment section. And guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. And remember, peace. I'm out.